It doesn't matter if you prep. You're all gonna fucking die. Hope you find that comforting. My family pretty much pissed me off today. And the thing that they pissed me off about is basically that they're all about to be dead and starving, probably. And I'm not. And, you know, they can eat a dick. To be honest, they don't get food now. I haven't told them this yet. I damn near just gave away all the food to homeless people today. I can't wait to watch my family starve while I have a mountain of food. This is what happens when you treat people like shit their entire lives and say that it's love. Sorry. We have very different fucking opinions. That seems to be a lot of shit. It's basically, I am, like, compared to my parents, my mother hated my grandfather. She also threw me with him every weekend that she could. I kind of adore him and kind of hate her, and he was right. You know why he was right? I don't know, look around you. Like, when I say he was right, he was a prepper. He's whatever you want to call this. He had arms to fucking raise a militia, and he had food, and he had everything that some fucking, what do they call those guys? Honcho in Vietnam would have had. In Vietnam, villages were run by honchos. They're like a chief or whatever. And those dudes would have buried out in the hills somewhere a motherfucking shit ton of rice and rifles. Because they know at the end of the day, the only thing that means shit is food, weapons, and the land that you stand on. Okay? And the only reason that the land that you stand on matters for shit is because it's yours, and it's where you grow your food from. It's where your animals are. It's where your grandparents are fucking buried. This is in a nutshell why this country's going to fucking war. Like, whether we're fighting the Chinese or the Russians or whatever to distract us from our problems, or we're fighting civil war here at home, you need to be fucking ready and prepared to fight. And the argument that I had with my family was, we lost $35,000 last month. And I have been telling them for about 3 months now that they needed to sell all of that shit and hoard cash and wait to rebuy. You know, you think, oh, I've been talking crazy shit. I've been telling my grandma that for about a year. I've been telling them all that for about 3 months. I'm sorry, but if you're too stupid to survive, then you do not deserve to survive. How about that? You want to hear some, like, cold ass shit? Like, you want to hear what the Nazis believe? That's what the Nazis believe. That's why they're putting our society in this situation. Like, they're attacking it from all levels. When I say Nazis, basically what I mean is Europeans. All the various sects that are wrong in America today are Europeans. I don't consider Scotsmen to be Europeans. I don't consider Irishmen to be Europeans. That's a whole debate. Englishmen are Europeans. Basically, the Scots and the Irish are what's left of the people that opposed the Roman Empire. The English are what's left of the people that kissed their asses. When Rome fell to shit, just like all other empires have fallen to shit, Londinium was like the farthest port in the fucking storm that fared best. It's kind of like Tulsa and Oklahoma is about to be, and Texas is about to be. Like, Oklahoma's not big shit now. We're about to be a lot bigger once New York and California don't exist anymore. You know, Texas, I think Texas, If we had a nuclear war, Texas is going to have some issues. Short of that, Texas is going to be Texas. It's kind of my opinion. And as such, like, I'm going to be roaming around Texas and Oklahoma, saving up for land. I should have bought land with the car money, but I was broken and not sure what I needed and knew I needed a car. And then pretty much I got the car, bought a couple other things, and it was gone. I'm glad I bought what I bought, though. Like, to be honest, my family has land. They don't have food. I spent the better part of $28,000 on a vehicle, food, and associated preps. And I spent a pretty good chunk of it on having some fun. I spent probably $8,000 of that on takeout food and some high-end fucking alcohol and a hotel room, and actually like 3 different hotel rooms. And like, we had fun. Okay. And like, you know, I saved that car for years. Tried not to drive it because I knew it'd be worth a lot. That and the Flex Raider were the only things I got out of the deal. All the rest of the shit I either bought for my new vehicle that is my home for the end of the world, or to feed my family or myself. And it pisses me off to be that person dealing with people who basically, they will never fucking believe what I believe. That's good. They can keep believing what they believe. I'm going to load my van and head for elsewhere. I don't know where I'm going to stash my guns. I'm going to stash guns someplace. I need someplace to stash guns and food. Figure that shit out, and I don't know after that. It really hacks me off that with all of the shit going on, anyone can be like, oh, well, you know, I guess we'll just see what happens. Are you fucking kidding me? What's fucking wrong with you? Like, you are what's wrong with America, family. Like, to some extent, that's some of y'all in the comments and shit, too. Like, this place is a sinking ship. The rats are fucking fleeing. I guess, me personally, I'm not going anywhere. I'll be here somewhere. Oklahoma, Texas, maybe Arkansas. I like Arkansas, Missouri, too. Like, if you look at the fucking range of anybody that ever rode against the fucking federal government and did it for any length of time successfully, you're looking at the states they did it in. I don't really want to ride against the federal government. To be honest, I would rather fucking work with whoever is not in these fucking globalist pieces of shit that are in the government. But to be honest, I think as soon as the Republicans get in, any chances of me getting a job in the military, it all goes away. Like, they're gonna fucking eliminate the trans shit from our military. They're gonna eliminate a lot of shit. Like, these woke fuckers ruined what was a good world. It's going to be really sad that, like, someday all I'm going to have left of this place and this time is probably these videos on the internet for people to watch. I don't think any of what you're seeing here is still going to be here in 10 years. That's how bad I think things are. That's why I'm a little cuckoo sometimes. That's why I really can't take talking to people that are as wrong as fucking E. Honda is. It's one of those things, like, he thinks he's absolutely right about everything. You're like, well, you think you're absolutely right about everything. Well, unless you actually talk to me about it, you'll find that I'm conflicted and questioning and arguing with you to try to figure out where I stand. And I'm holding a position because it's useless to have an argument if two people don't hold opposing positions. Okay? And I guess the difference here is basically there's a few things that I am right about. I know I'm right about. If we disagree on those, we can no longer be friends or family. And some of that's the trans shit. Like, the woke people are not right about the trans shit, but neither are the anti-trans people. We've always been here. Like, go read the Bible. Talk about eunuchs and shit. Like, what do you think they're talking about? Like, in ancient Greece and Rome and shit, like, there were whole cults dedicated to this shit. And in my opinion, that's some of what that is. It's like, I don't know exactly. I'm not a part of that. I think that's the thing a lot of people should get, is that you can be trans and not be a part of their shit. I think I'm just going to make this a night patrol episode. No, I'm going to call this Watching the Sunset. Because that's what it is. We're watching the sunset on the American Empire. And the question for us is, what empire is going to dominate the world now? Now that America is gone, are we going to have this globalist cabal of Europeans run the world? Because that seems to be what the plan is for the Western world. The Eastern world's plan is literally, fuck the world. Like, I don't blame them. Because, like, from where I sit, I agree with Putin in some ways. Like, if you're going to have my options be to be run by globalist elites or die in nuclear fire, then you pick the wrong person to run all the fucking nukes, you know? Whereas, you know, I don't know. I don't know that that's the right thing. Maybe they all are just peace-loving hippies or whatever. But it sure seems like they're like the Rothschilds. This has the Rothschilds written all over it. And I think the whole Nazi shit in the 30s had the Rothschilds written all over it. I think they get off on this shit. Fuck rich people. That's what I'm telling you, basically. Is America is no longer a system divided by politics, political classes. We are divided by socioeconomic classes. And that's why there's a bunch of people that don't like my van. The reason why is because it comes with the stigma of being in that lower socioeconomic class. It's funny to me to watch a world where this self-imposed caste system has been created amongst us and no one's even talking about it. I don't care. You guys do what you want. I reject your society. You know, I heard someone say that was a Hindi guru guy, that he said he rejected the world at like 10. Nah, it took me 22 years or something, but I got there. I like sitting on this part of the slope. It's a nice place to sit. I don't really know what to end on besides more death of the American Empire, but like that's really what we're watching. And the fact that no one cares about it is hilarious to me. Like, I think I'm gonna go get drunk. I haven't had alcohol really in a good 8 to 10 months, maybe even a year, something like that. I quit drinking a while back. When I say I quit drinking, I mean like I quit drinking to the point that I fall down every night. So when I did that, I still have tequila in the house, I still have vodka in the house, and I'll still occasionally have a drink when I want to drink, but I don't drink all the time anymore. I think that was a good move for me. But at the same time, the reason that like Matt and I both had some health issues after COVID, I think was because we were sitting there going shot for shot with Honda every night. Whether we would admit that to ourselves or not, we were getting fucking hammered. It wasn't exactly a health club. I think what you were listening to there every night was essentially the 21st century version of guys hanging out in a bar talking about guns. I really miss that place. It's really not going to matter because all those fucks are going to be dead soon. And I don't mean that in some sort of threatening way. I mean like the whole world's going to die in nuclear Armageddon and they're going to die too and yada yada. Like, that's how I mean that. Like, I think anyone that's not seriously like packing their shit and heading for high ground is probably going to die. That's, you know, half of why I make any of these videos for you people is so that you get where I think we're at. Because like, I know most of you are like, yeah, whatever. I called pretty much everything that's happened for the last 2 years mostly correct. Some of that's because I was talking to Matt and Honda at the time, but my input on it was more accurate than theirs, in my opinion. That's an opinion. E-Honda is right a lot. Matt is right way more than E-Honda is. So like, talking to them makes me smarter. Them talking to me makes them smarter. And the three of us talking together, like, this is how you do things in reality. Like, everything should be workshopped with at least 3 people probably, if you really want good results. I don't know what it is with people driving fucking slow. I like sunsets. I like sunsets a lot better than sunrises. Maybe that's from doing too much shit, but like, this is the time of night where like, if you were in a combat zone, or if you were about to go do something nefarious, or if you were going out for sex, or if you're going out for drugs, or anything relating to any of that, this is the time of night where you're like putting on your lipstick and packing your bag and loading your fucking chest rig and loading your guns and making sure everything's fucking good to go. This is like, in my opinion, this should be most people's like, not morning, but like lunchtime. You should be having lunch right now. And like, a lot of you guys are like, whoa, what are you talking about doing that for? Because I'm gonna be up all night. You know, party all night, sleep all day, that kind of shit. Like, at least while combat's on, yeah. Depending on the threat, that might change or whatever. If you're fighting if you're fighting Taliban in Iraq and Afghanistan or whatever, they don't have night vision, so they probably are less inclined to do stuff at night, and you're better at night, so less to worry about, right? Well, in this new modern chaos that we've created, the people that are coming for us, they operate at night. So part of anything that I do is to be used to being up all night, because that's when they're going to come. And as far as night vision goes, I like night vision. I also like running without night vision, to be honest. I don't really know which one I would do. Depends on how dark it is. Right now, I wouldn't run nods at all. I see better in varied light than those nods do. There comes a point where, like, that street light's out, that sun's all the way down, where, you know, you might want the nods. Also comes a point where, like, you're having people fighting against you that are using IR and shit, and if you have a pair of them, it makes them real easy to see. You know, I'm not advising anyone to do anything. What I am saying is that we are all in a place where we're probably gonna, if not die, we're going to go through something on the akin of World War II, and we will be playing the role of Nazi Germany. People are going to come for us. I don't know exactly how or why, but it seems like the Canadians and the Mexicans are going to be used. And like, this is part of that. I think you should be prepared to fight off an invasion. They want to conquer us. And whoever comes in here to help restabilize things, quote unquote, they're just going to want to own us. And this is why, like, the Democrats in reality are just traitors. Okay, the globalist shit is China and Europe in league, I think. And I'm not exactly sure what the Chinese-Russian relationship is with this. It could be that we are watching them start shit just to cause us to have a shit show here. Could be that they're on their own. It's very difficult to tell where some of the allegiances lie right now on an international level. And I think that's because most men are out for themselves. I think RIMPAC is probably pretty strong, but like RIMPAC is a bunch of countries that are going to fight China, basically, that the Chinese train alongside with. That's just my opinion. You got NATO. NATO's not going to fight. That's my prediction. And because they're not going to fight, we're probably going to have to. And this is the shit that's really going to cause a shit show here, because now we had a war before where the Republicans went to war and made some money. And now the Democrats are trying that shit. And they're doing it with Russia. And they've been doing it with Russia since as long as I can remember. Like, they've been in the Ukraine since at least 2010 that I know of, if not before. And when I say in there, I mean like shooting people. Our world is setting. And like, there's a certain amount of this that people are like, this is the end times. So let me explain the end times to you. Every single person that has ever been a savior or a major religious figure on this planet was your Aunt Ray Ray. I don't mean that literally, but I mean like the type of person that they are. Like this kind of shitty person that you're seeing here. That's how they were. Okay? They kind of found their own inner peace and figured out the universe on their own somewhere, and then came into a corrupt system and then like fucked it over eventually after losing. This is what happens. Basically, like, we have created an army of transgender girls now, and we are just waiting to nail them to trees. That's what I see. There's an interesting argument to be made about Jesus being trans. I'm not going to make it here. That should be a separate video and it would piss people off. But some of the Da Vinci Code shit is an argument for he might have been trans. And when I say trans, I mean kind of like a gay dude, basically. Could get into that, but like the line between a gay man and a trans woman is always a fine one. This is why you get the non-binary people that like, I don't want to be either or. That's where those people come from, is because they ride the line. Oh. Well, I'll see you fuckers later. I hope someone found some of this information useful. This is basically me ranting about my family and the death of America. It's how I feel. I kind of somewhat don't care about a lot of things because I'm pretty confident of how bad things are about to be. Oh. So, I'm gonna sit and enjoy a sunset or two. Do whatever the fuck I want for a while. Sounds fun. You know, that's half of wandering in the van, is I'm gonna go do whatever the fuck I want for a considerable amount of time. I'm gonna need to save some cash to do that too. It's hard to save cash and buy a full infantry kit and outfit a Mad Max vehicle and add to your food storage. I know, make more money. Well, that's, you know, I could, but I value my happiness, basically. I have money. I have enough money to live on. I doubt I will ever make very much money. I don't really see it as being a thing worth achieving. I know that seems weird. Basically, the only reason I'd ever want to make a whole bunch of money is so I would only have to work for like a year, and then I would never do it again. I have simple tastes, simple desires. I don't know. With the way the healthcare is in this country, it'll just break you anyway. To be honest, at this point, I think if the Democrats did take over, it would be an improvement over the way things were under the Republican fuckers. And I know that's not going to be a popular statement, but people should get that, like, the 2000s and the 2010s weren't joyous. And really, I would say the 2000s were much better than the 2010s. 2010s for me fucking sucked. Like, you could say that that was Obama versus, you know, Bush. I actually was a fan of Bush. I really didn't see anything too wrong with what we did in the Middle East, to be honest. We shouldn't be picking a fight with Russia. Picking a fight with the Middle East with Russia to fight terrorism, maybe. Like, that's what we were doing. It's a big difference from that to we're going to have a nuclear war with Russia because, you know, we're going to bring up those old Cold War grievances, I guess. I don't really understand what's going on with a lot of shit other than we've had a generation of kids raised by their grandparents, and it shows. I'll see you guys later.